Hey everybody, what's up? Good afternoon. It is Tony and Brad. I'm going to bring him in a moment. He's in his car again, driving to his next appointment, which is what we all need to do. So I'm going to bring him in a moment, and we're going to talk a little bit about last week's or Wednesday's call and maybe a little forecast for next week. So without further ado, thank you again for joining us. Make sure you're sharing this with all of your friends, especially those that are affiliated those that are in business, because this isn't just, we do talk a lot about real estate. It's not just about real estate. It does work for anything else that you're working with, because again, it's about staying in contact with your clients, with your existing clients, because so often we spend more time trying to get new clients when what we should be really focused on is retention and tapping into our existing database and working on that. So with that said, here's the one and only Brad Korn. What's up, Brad? Hold on, let's see. Let me get you back in here. What happened here? There you are. What's up, Brad? Good morning or good afternoon. We are a little bit late today to the show, but because Brad is out on appointments as well. I just got back in myself from doing some things this morning. So, Brad, let's get a little recap of what we were talking about on Wednesday, and maybe tell them a little bit about what's coming.
Yeah, so that Wednesday session, just in case you haven't tuned in yet, it's it's not even really progressive. It's 19 hours of content of automating your business, and one of the core first things is creating the relationship and getting a better connection with the people that already know you, like you, and trust you, because more of those people do business with you, right? And so it is interesting that was still pretty much the main drive of the conversation. So what I thought was kind of exciting about our Friday call, where we kind of recap how that call went. If somebody was there, they can tune in and kind of say, hey, I had more questions, whatever, is that this topic is almost where we could get stuck for 19 weeks in itself. And it's not stuck in a bad way. Believe me, it is. And Tony's going through this himself. And actually, I am going through it, because I now have over 1,000 names and numbers of people that we have communicated with and interacted with, or not interacted with, from the lead sources that I didn't have to rely on before. But the markets change, right? And so people stayed in their houses an extra 5 years longer, and that database business went in half. And it went in half. Like, I have not found one agent that was great at a database business that has said, oh, my business stayed the same or I grew. Not from their database. The database business is cut in half because people were staying in their 3% and 4% interest rates that you sold houses to. And most agents, Tony, their database is literally just a list of past clients, not people in their community. Because past clients are past clients. They'll do business with you once every 3, 5, or 10 years. But everybody's missing out on, because they're not top of mind yet. Because they called them, they did some lead generation, and they talked to somebody, they called their friends list, they mailed out their postcards to say, hey, I'm in real estate, or hey, I'm at a new company, here's my info. 99% of those people were moving then, and then nothing else happens after that. So what was interesting that came up on the call from the people that are really like joining the revolution here and really working on connection, and they are making their master list. The master list is basically open up all your social media friends and follow list, write down every name in a notebook. Open up your cell phone, every call that's gone out, write that name in your notebook. Every call that's been received, write that name in there. Your incoming email, your outgoing email. Get all those names in one place. And then be on purpose every day for a little bit of time. It's like, yeah, if you really love and you are really truly doing this, picking up the phone and dialing a number for 4 hours a day to cold call and look for business, if you are really having fun doing that and you're doing it 5 days a week, keep doing it. I mean, just keep doing it. But if you're getting a 1% return on that, if you started capturing all those names and then you wrote them a note, get them in your notebook, find their address, find their phone number, and then write them a note when you get them on the phone. your business will double or triple from with that. But you can actually just start with the people that already know you, like you, trust you. And the purpose is not to call about real estate first. So this is what came up on the call last week, Tony, and then I'll ask for kind of your take on it. But they did bring up, hey, so how do I ask for somebody's phone number? It just seems weird. You shouldn't be asking for a phone number. We've talked about fastpeoplesearch.com. In fact, I did it right there with somebody that was on the call. Said, hey, does Cottonwood look familiar? That was the street she lived on. She's like, oh my God, really? What was that site? It's like, oh, I tell you this site every single week. But you're just not doing the system yet where if you had a name in a notebook, right? If you have a name in a notebook first, and then you go to that notebook every day and you find an address and a phone number looking in your cell phone, looking on Facebook. Some people on Facebook actually have their phone number listed on their profile, Tony. They even have their address there. Fastpeoplesearch.com. You got tax records. You got an email from them in your inbox that actually has a signature with their cell phone on it. All that information already in like 20 different places. So the notebook helps you get the phone number and address in there, get a good 100, 200 of those filled in, and then start your calls. Because then when you're calling only the people that are phone numbers and addresses, that's real easy. Just go, hey, are you still living on Cottonwood? I'm just going to interject that in the call somewhere. So that question comes up every single time, Tony. It's like, how do I get their address if I don't have it? And I can just come back to and say, well, you didn't do the master list, did you? Because you should only be calling people that you have an address and a phone number for. And if you wrote down every name from all those sources that I talked about in the notebook, you will find 60 to 70% of those people's addresses and phone numbers. So you already have a core that you may never, ever get to a phone number, or you'll never get to a name in the notebook that you don't have an address for, because you'll have so many that you have them for, you'll never get there.
I think it's great. And honestly, there's technology now that makes that even easier. I know you did Fast People Search, but I actually did one yesterday. The call we were on with Jay, it was someone there that just happened to get on there somehow, whatever. But she's like, oh, I want to speak to someone who's familiar with the system, and I have a few questions. So, she said where she was from. So I just looked her up. I got her number and I texted her, and we were texting back and forth, just giving her the information she was looking for and what have you. So I actually got that information. And you can use AI now, because AI will, when you do a search for somebody in a certain place, you do the search, it'll go into Fast People Search. It'll go into some records and find what you're looking for. And of course, if you can't use it that way, then you can go to the other route. But it's what you said is so important, because oftentimes realtors in particular, or any business, right? If you're just looking to reach out, especially to the people that you already know, somebody that is in your contact list, right? Because it is important to work your sphere of influence before, or existing database, existing clients. That's where there's a lot of gold before going out and making those cold calls. But oftentimes cold calls are difficult, because what do the realtors initially say? Hi, this is Tony with eXp Realty. I'm just calling around your neighborhood. I just sold a home in your neighborhood on such and such a street. I was just wondering if you're getting interest in selling your home, or if you know anyone who is. Well, that's just about as generic a cold call from a realtor as possible. And if you're calling your friends and having that conversation, it's kind of like a messed up call, right? Because they probably haven't heard from you in a year and a half. Now you're calling them because you need something, right? So don't let that be that first call. Make the connection. Say, hey, Brad, how you doing, man? Haven't spoken to you in about a year. How are things? Last time we spoke, this was going on. Or, hey, did you hear about this thing that's happening in the neighborhood? I just found out about it. I don't know if you're aware of it. Or, hey, the HOA is doing this, or whatever it is. And just have a conversation. Be real for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, whatever it is. Catch up, and then that's it. Just make the contact, and then put them in that database, and then you write them that personal note. Hey, it was really good talking to you. A couple of days ago. It was look forward to seeing you, in the community, or looking forward to staying in touch. And then every month you're sending that thing. So all of that to say, is when you are making that call to that database, to your list, whatever it is, don't just say, hey, I'm in real, you remember I'm in real estate, right? If you know anybody who's looking to buy and sell, I'm desperate. I need a listing. I need a sale. Don't do that, right? Just add value first.
Yeah. So here's
talk about what's happening in the market, in the neighborhood, whatever it is.
Yeah, here's what somebody in the relationship revolution does. They write down all the names in the notebook, so you got a good list to always work from. And your goal is to connect with everybody in the notebook again, because remember I asked the question, Tony? I was like, hey, you guys, how many people do you have in your database? And you pulled them up, and you have like 3,500 people or something in your database, right?
Right.
So, and I said, and I just asked the question, so how many of those people, while you're looking at your database, and everybody do this right now, look on your Facebook friends list, scroll through the Facebook friends list and tell me how many of those people you have actually just picked up the phone and talked to in the last week, 2 weeks, 30 days, even 60 days. It's going to be over 90 to 95% of them have not heard from you in probably a year, right? Like on the phone.
Probably more than that. Because majority of people speak to the same people all the time, and they don't do that. And and the 3,500, that was just out of my phone. It was actually a little more than that. It was like 3,800. But I've got another 5,000 on Facebook. I got another 4,000 on this app, and then the 10,000 on the other one. Now, of course, you don't have that personal connection with all of them, but many of them you do. So just start working with them.
Tony's been, he didn't pay his tin can bill. His internet likes to go in and out on him a little bit.
Actually, I don't know if that's mine or yours, to be honest with you. You're the one driving. I'm stationary right now. So, but yeah, the internet's been a little freaky for whatever reason lately.
Well, so here's what I can tell you guys. Here's one thing. You don't have to spend the next 20 to 30 years to figure out if I'm telling you the right thing or not. You have to literally trust what I'm saying, because I've done this for over 30 years. And what I know, I figured out by doing just this simple thing: master list, find address, phone number, call people out of that every day until I get 5 people I connected with, write them a handwritten note, move them into the database, and then put them on an automated follow-up plan that will just keep me in front of them forever till they do buy and sell. And that forever is somewhere in the next 1, 3, 5, 10 years, right? So it took me 30 years. Well, it took me 5 years to build this, because nobody else was really doing it this simple. And what I figured out is that even as a master connector, and Tony, you're one of them too, we at the most are naturally connected with about 10 to 20% of our database. And 20% is really pushing it. Like if you just literally listed the A to the Z's out on a piece of paper, and you could literally look at that list, and let's just say it's real estate, for example, would these people refer me right now if they were at a party and somebody said, I got to sell my house or I got to buy a house? Would your name be the next thing they say, right? So you got to back all the way up, understanding, and this is where I get to help you guys really get a 6, 8, 10 times return, sell 100 properties a year in real estate, or sell 100 products a month if you're selling a different product. But it is, go back to your list, get that organized, make sure you are going to focus on touching every single person that's ever met you, because they're all buying your product, service, or house eventually. They're all moving, right? And what you're going to do is on purpose slice away a few of those every day, like 5 a day would be a great goal. I think that's a minimum goal. If you're getting in the next 5 years, you could have 6,000 connections. 5 a day, 5 days a week. It's 100 a month. It's 1,200 a year. In 5 years, you've got 6,000 connections that you've talked to, that you've gotten a note, and your database or your contact management system is a better way to put it. It's managing your contacts with them, is reminding you to stay in front of them, pick up the phone and call them and check in once a quarter for until they do business with you, right? So all the other pieces in between are that bridge to keep you top of mind, so they'll take your phone call. And your phone calls are so short. like once you connect with somebody, that's the most painful one, and it's where most agents get off track on the relationship revolution, because it's like, oh my god, that call was 40 minutes. Well, that's your fault, because they were one of the 95% that you haven't talked to in 2 years. So now you got to give them the time to catch you up on what's going on in their life. And that's a great call, by the way. You don't have to know what scripts to use. You don't have to know what to say. You should not be talking. Just get them talking, keep them talking, and listen, right? And when they're done, you write them a note and you just recap what you heard. Great to hear the kids are all doing well. Can't believe Savannah's getting married. And just try to keep you out of it and make it about them. Drop that note in the mail. Now, here's the difference, Tony. And this is what we were talking about with the group. Once you get that master list notebook going, and you'll have a constant flow of addresses and phone numbers to call, you may dial 20 numbers out of that notebook, but you're really truly only going to connect with maybe 5 of those people. So your goal isn't to connect with all 100 that you have on the list. You're going to call 20 people, you're going to connect with 5, you're going to write your notes, you're done for the day. Tomorrow, open the notebook up, try to find 100 more numbers and phone addresses, and then call 20, get 5, and those 5 a day will move into your database and make sure they're on a better follow-up plan. You're going to leave everybody else in the notebook until you truly connect. And so what happens is when you connect, your phone is going to start ringing over the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. So you want to keep doing whatever you're doing to get business, but you want to absolutely layer this piece in here. So, and I think you're hearing it now for what? Shoot, you've been doing this for 3 months now, and you're starting to hear this message like, geez, this. I mean, I love your reaction every single time we talk about it. You're the guy who knows this stuff, right? You are the connector.
Yeah, but you know what? We know it, but we don't always practice it, right? So it is important to, and it's not just about the connection; it's maintaining the connection. It's the follow up. You know, the follow up is where most people, including myself, struggle at times, right? Because we don't have that system in place, and that's what you're helping me put in here as well. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to invite people to it. By the way, if you're interested, you can go to Coach Brad Korn on Facebook, and I'll put the link in here as well. Oh, it looks like yeah, I got the link here. I'm going to put this link in the chat. This is the invitation to, or this is the link for our call. Oh wait, I didn't mean to cut that. Let me not cut that. I'm deleting it from where I have it. Paste. I'm going to add that in the chat. That way, you can absolutely join us and invite some friends, invite some people. That, you know, there's more people coming to the class, and I think this week we're going to have a lot of people, because we have some of the other people on our team sending out the invitation to all of their people. So we might wind up with 100 or however many people. Who knows what this week's going to look like? We jump into, we do have room, and again, even though it is growing, there's going to be room for, again, giving not just the instruction, but for Q&A at the end of it as well. And again, we do come here on Friday to do the recap of what we spoke about on Wednesday, and we come in on Monday into where you're seeing us now, whether you're seeing this on Facebook, whether you're seeing this on LinkedIn, on YouTube or Twitter or any other place. We come here to either recap or forecast the upcoming event. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And I know Brad, you're probably approaching your next appointment. I've got to jump off to get on some more calls as well. I've got some things coming up, but just want to say thank you for being here as always, whether you're in the car or whether you're in your office. And for those of you who jumped on, I did see people come in and out. Thank you for being here. Share this video with your friends. Invite some people to Wednesday's call. There's a link. And of course, as always, we have on Thursdays, we also have a call with one of our partners where we show people how to get leads at a ridiculous number. There's no referral fees. These leads come directly to you. So if you're looking to level up your business, if you're looking to level up your lifestyle, your quality of your life, you're looking to earn more and have financial freedom, join us on this call on Wednesday. And of course, we're here Monday and Tuesday and Fridays talking about it. But if you're interested in lead generation, you're interested in how to do it for next to nothing, leads that are exclusively yours, let us know in the comments as well, and we will invite you to that as well. There's another call on Thursday. We had 422 people on the call this week, which was crazy, the largest call so far. And again, it's changing the game, changing the world, changing a lot of people's lives in real estate, because so many people struggle, and we don't have to. Right? You don't have to struggle if you've got the systems and the processes in place and you're working with the right people.
Here's a big thing I'll say about that, Tony. It's like, what you're good at is talking to people, and if they're ready to buy and sell, you know how to get that deal going. If you know how to connect with people, we're going to help you stay in touch with them so that you're top of mind when those do come back and get ready, because 98% of them, 99% of them won't be ready. You'll get the 1% all day long, but you're good on the phone. What you shouldn't be doing is spending the time trying to figure out who you need on the phone. And that's where they have taken, our partners have taken that completely out of your world, and they just send them to you so you can do what you do best. And they don't charge you an extra commission split for it. Seriously. So anyway, yeah. Cool, man.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you pulled it off and got us on here today so we could talk and share and all that fun stuff.
Excellent. Well, listen, have a great rest of your day. Make it successful. Get in there. Go do what you got to do. I'm going to see if I can make some hay in my day here as well, right? Make hay while the sun is shining. All right.
I see you, Tony.
Everybody, hold on. Don't go away yet.
Yep.
I'm just going to end the stream.